Hello students, have you ever thought how much paint covers your entire wall or how much water fills your bucket? That's mensuration. So before we begin, hit the subscribe so you don't miss any easy math hack, and in order to join our live classes, do check out the link in the description. So let's begin our day number 19 challenge, which is mensuration. I know many might have felt hard in memorizing this formula involved in mensuration. So today we are going to break down the complex formulas so that you understand it easily and solve the problems in a much more better way. So let's begin by understanding what is mensuration. Mensuration is nothing but computation of geometric magnitudes. What does mean by computation? It's measuring. What does mean by geometric magnitude? It's nothing but your perimeter, which is the boundary length, area, which is the space covered by the 2D shapes, and volume, which is the space occupied by the 3D shapes, and surface area, which is the sum of all your outer surface areas. Okay, let's understand in a much more easier way. So what is mensuration? It is measuring the perimeter, boundary, area, which is the surface, volume, which is space inside the object, surface area, which is the outer surface area of the 3D objects of different shapes like square, rectangle, circle, triangle, which are two dimensions. And also 3D shapes like cube, cuboid, sphere, cone, cylinder, pyramid, prism, and much more. Though the shapes are many, it's easy once you understand. Okay, so let's begin the topic with its real time usage, where it is used in our real life. As I told you already, how much paint can cover your entire wall, or finding how much cloth is needed to stitch a particular dress or tent or whatever, calculating how much water a tank can hold, or designing the boxes, bottles, or making a pool or sports field. Everything needs mensuration. Clear? Now, let's begin the topic with the basic terms. What are plane figures? Plane figures are nothing but a closed figure lying on a plane, a surface, and it is made up of lines, curves, or both. Say, for example, triangle, rectangle, circle, all these are plane figures. Now, what is rectilinear figure? The plane figure, that means a closed figure that is made up of only line segments. So, circle is a rectilinear figure? No, because it is made up of curves. It's not a rectilinear figure, whereas triangles, squares, rectangles, all these are rectilinear figures. Now, the magnitude of this plane region, which is nothing but your closed figure, is nothing but the area. Clear? So let's begin the topic with the very first shape, square. We all know square is a shape which has four sides, and all the sides are equal. If this is 5 centimeter, then all the sides will be 5 centimeter. So what will be the perimeter? Perimeter is nothing but the boundary, right? So 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. Let's bring algebra here so that you get a pattern to use repeatedly for any squares. So let's assume the side as S. Then what will be the perimeter? Perimeter, I'm simply writing P to denote perimeter, equals to S plus S plus S plus S, which is 4S, 4 times S. So this is your perimeter. And most important, you have to mention the unit. 4S units. If it is centimeter, then centimeter. If it is meter, then meter. Now area. Area means always remember a common formula, which is row times column. Okay. What is meant by row? The horizontal length is called as row, and the vertical length is called as column. Since both the sides are same, the row and column both will be equal to the side length. So what is the area of a square? It is simply side into side, which is nothing but your side square. It can be S, it can be A, whatever the variable you put, accordingly you can get the area. And the most important, units. Centimeter into centimeter, so unit is centimeter square. For perimeter, it's only one unit, which is centimeter or meter, or it can be anything. Okay? So simply we can put this is unit square. Hope you are clear with the perimeter and area of a square. Now, if they are asking you the diagonal of a square, what is meant by diagonal? The line which connects the two opposite ends is nothing but diagonal. How do you calculate the diagonal? By using the Pythagoras theorem. Say for example, this is side, this is also side. You want the hypotenuse here, so use the Pythagoras theorem to get the diagonal, which is nothing but root 2 times side. So whenever you want to refer, you can just save this video and refer it whenever you need it. Okay? And if they have given you the diagonal value and if they are asking you to find the area, then you can use this formula. Area of a square is nothing but diagonal square by 2. How you got this? Rewrite this for side. Side equals to diagonal by root 2. Right? Area of the square is nothing but side square. So squaring this, area will be equals to diagonal square by root 2 square is simply 2. Okay, squaring this, you get the side square. Okay, so it's simply d square, which is diagonal square, by root 2 square is 2. So d square by 2. So all the problems involve any of these formulas only for square. Okay, save this video so you can refer it later. Now, area of a rectangle. Rectangle is a shape where the opposite sides are equal. So since the opposite sides are equal, we'll denote it with different letters, which is L and B, length and breadth. For square, it's same, so we used the same letter to denote all the sides. Here it is different, so two different variables. What will be the perimeter now? Breadth plus breadth, length plus length. That will sum up all my outer side. So it is nothing but 2 times of your L plus B units. And what will be the area? Row into column. So length into breadth, centimeter square. I hope you are clear with the area of rectangle. This is the easiest of all. Right? Now coming to the area of a parallelogram. Parallelogram is nothing but a tilted rectangle. So what do? You just cut this and take this rectangle and put it here. You get a rectangle again. So parallelogram becomes a rectangle. Again the same formula. Perimeter is nothing but these two sides. All sum up all the 4 sides. You get the perimeter. So let's take this as base. So base plus slanting slide plus slanting slide will give you the perimeter of the parallelogram. Now coming to the area, as I told you already, it's row into column. Row is nothing but your base, right? When you shift it here, when you cut the triangle and shift it here, you get a rectangle, right? And the height of this parallelogram is nothing but your column. Column into row gives you area. Here, in order to differentiate between your rectangle and your parallelogram, we are using another 2 different variables, which are B and H. B means base. We no longer take it as length. We take it as base and your height. So B into H. This is unit. Again, this is centimeter into centimeter, or unit into unit, unit square. So unit of area is always unit square, centimeter square or meter square or kilometer square or whatever it is. Okay. Now coming to the next one, which is triangle. So triangle, if you take a triangle and if you take a similar triangle, just copy paste the same triangle and put it over here, you get a parallelogram, right? So area of a triangle is nothing but half of your parallelogram, which is BH. Okay. Unit square. So half of your parallel base into height. Always remember this height is your vertical height and perimeter is nothing but side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3 is your perimeter, sum of all the boundaries. Perimeter is easy, right? You have to add up all the sides. Whereas area is nothing but your half of parallelogram, which is half times base into height. Now, when you come to triangle, there is no only one triangle. There are different types of triangles, right? So let's understand what are the different types of triangles and how do you find the area of those. Now, if a triangle is given, instead of its base, height, and instead of giving that, if they are giving you the three sides A, B, C, even then you can find the area of the entire triangle by using this formula, s into square root of s into s minus a into s minus b and s minus c. What are these A, B, C? These are the three sides of the triangle. And what is S? S is nothing but the semi-perimeter. Perimeter, we all know, add up three sides. And a half of it is nothing but semi-perimeter. So find the semi-perimeter S and substitute in this formula to find the area of a triangle when the sides are given. Clear? This is very important. Note it down and don't forget to revise it whenever needed. Okay. The next type of triangle that you may get is equilateral triangle. What is meant by equilateral triangle? All the sides are equal. A is nothing but the side of the triangle. And this is your vertical height. You all know the equilateral triangle, if you take, it is made up of two right angled triangles. So using the Pythagoras theorem again, when you simplify, you get the area of the equilateral triangle, which is root 3 by 4 into side square. If you need the explanation or the step-by-step process of how you get this area formula, do comment it in the comment section. I'll make a separate video for this. Okay. And in case of right angled triangle, which is nothing but 90 degree. One of the angle is 90 degree. Here it is clear that the base is A, the height is B, vertical height is given. So you can simply use the triangle formula, which is half of A times B, which is AB by B. Solve a problem based on this. The area of a square is 225 meters square. Now the perimeter of the square is 10 meters less than the perimeter of the rectangle. So we'll put this as AS. AS means area of the square. And the perimeter of the square is 10 meters less than the perimeter of rectangle. So this is an expression. And breadth of the rectangle. Breadth of the rectangle is given as 15 meter. Find the area of the rectangle. In order to find the area of the rectangle, you need the length and the breadth. But in the question, we are just given only with the breadth. So you need to find the length. Once you get the length, then you can find the area, which is nothing but L into B. Right? Now, here are our hint. If the area of the square is 225, what will be the side length? We all know side into side gives you the area. So what into what gives you 225? Simple 15. So 15, it's meter, so 15 meter. So now the area of the square is 225, side of the square is 50. Now in order to find our length of the rectangle, the hint is this, which relates your square and your rectangle. Perimeter of the square. So 4s is your perimeter. 4s is nothing but 4 times 15, which gives you 60 meter is your perimeter. So 60 equals to perimeter of rectangle minus 10. So we want perimeter of rectangle. Take minus 10 to the other side, you get plus 10. So perimeter is 70 meter. Is the problem over now? No. Perimeter alone we have got. So perimeter is nothing but side plus side plus side plus side. So which is nothing but breadth plus breadth, length plus length. So again, thinking logically without any formula, breadth, 2 times of breadth is nothing but 30. So 70 minus 30 is nothing but 40. This 40 is nothing but length plus length. Breadth plus breadth, length plus length is your perimeter. So your breadth plus breadth is 30. So 70 minus 30 gives you 40, right? So from this we can say that the length has to be 20. 20 plus 20 gives you 40. Now you got the length as well as you got the breadth. Now finding the area becomes much more easier, which is A equals to length into breadth. 20. 20 times 15, which is 300 centimeter square. I hope you are clear with the method. Think logically, the entire mensuration topic will become very easy for you, right? Now, let's go to the next one, which is trapezium. Trapezium is nothing but a shape which has one right angle. This is a regular trapezium. So, this trapezium area can be found by splitting the entire trapezium into two triangles, triangle 1 and triangle 2. So, substituting the area of the triangle, you get area of the trapezium as half of your two bases into the height. I'll put it in a simple way. Assume this is another type of trapezium, okay, which is not right angled at any corner. So this is, you get two different types of bases, A and B. So how you can say is, as I told you already, row into column, right? Your row is nothing but your A and B. But there is two different AB. Two different horizontal lines are there. So what we will do, we will take the average of both, which is nothing but A plus B by 2. And what is the column now? Is your height. Height of the trapezium is h. So we'll keep it as h. So you can write it as it is, or A equals to 1 by 2 average of the two bases times your h. Okay, and again unit square. This is the area of a trapezium. Clear? Now let's go to the next one, which is area of a rhombus. Rhombus is a shape which has equal sides, but the angle is different. That is the difference between your rhombus and square. Here, how do we find area of the rhombus? Split it into, to understand it better, I'll make a horizontal line instead of vertical. So you get two triangles here. And what is the triangle number 1, the top triangle? If you see, take this as O, A, B, C, D. Half of OB into AC. Triangle 2 would be half of OD into, again, AC, base into height. Normal area of the triangle, right? So now, this addition, like sum of these two triangles, is nothing but your rhombus. So rhombus area is nothing but half of your OB plus OD, which is nothing but your BD, times AC. When you sum it up, you get simply the product of the diagonals. Half of your product of the diagonal is nothing but the area of the rhombus. We know that OB plus OD gives you BD. So half of, so when you sum it up, half of AC is common for both. So take it out, OB plus OD. So OB plus OD is nothing but your diagonal. So area of the rhombus is half of your product of the diagonals. Yeah. So let's discuss a problem on rhombus. So here find the area of a rhombus of perimeter 60 centimeter and one of its diagonal is 24. So let's draw a rhombus. Assume this is a rhombus and these are the two diagonals. So A, B, C, D. Let's assume that this is O, center is O. So one diagonal is given. So area is nothing but half of your diagonal 1 into diagonal 2. So area is half of diagonal 1 is 24. Let's find the diagonal 2. So diagonal 2, let's assume this is diagonal 1. So let's find AC, take AC as the diagonal 2. Okay. So now this is a triangle and this is the height of the triangle, right? So this is nothing but we all know that the diagonals bisect at right angles. So since it's bisecting, this is already 24. So this OB must be equal to 12. So half of 12 into so let's take the diagonal 2 equals to, which is your AC. So since it's a right angle, bisect at right angles, what we will do, we will use the Pythagoras theorem to find this OC or AO, anything is fine. So OA is equal to nothing but square root of 15 square, right? What is 15? The side length is 15. We just now got it. So 15 square minus this length is half of your 24. So minus 12. 12 square, which is nothing but 225 minus 144, which gives you root of 81. So it's 9 centimeter. If OA is 9, then again OC will also be 9, which means the diagonal 2 is 9 plus 9, which is 18 centimeter. So substitute this here. Cancel it out 9 times. So area equals to 9 times 24 gives you 216 centimeter square. I hope you are clear with this rhombus area. So what do you have to do? You have to find the diagonal. To find the diagonal, they have given you the hint, which is perimeter. Using this hint, we got the side length as 15, and we know using the property of a rhombus that the diagonals bisect each other at right angles. So using the Pythagoras theorem and this side length and the diagonal 1, we got the diagonal 2, which is 18 centimeter. We got the half of the diagonal 9. So 9 plus 9 is 18. So substitute it and get the area. Clear? Circumference and area of a circle. So circumference of the circle is equal to pi into d. How they got this formula? Because they found that whenever you take the circumference, the outermost length, the boundary length of the circle, and you divide it by its diameter, you always got an irrational number, which is pi. So from that relation, we can say that the circumference of a circle is nothing but pi into d. Substituting for your diagonal, you get 2r. 2 pi r is the circumference and area is pi r square. And what is a ring? Where ring is the one which has an outer circle and again an inner circle, like this. So the area of this is nothing but area of the bigger circle minus the area of the smaller circle, which is nothing but pi capital R square. Capital R denotes the radius of the bigger circle minus pi small r square, which is the radius of the smaller circle. So it's simply pi into capital R square minus small r square, right? Now, sector. What does mean by sector? Suppose if you have a circle and you have the center, the space occupied between the two radii of the circle is nothing but the sector. The length of the arc and the circumference of the circle are proportional to the angle, central angle. Okay. Always remember this, in a sector, the length of the arc and the circumference of the circle are proportional to your central angle. What is central angle? The angle that is subtended at the center. Okay. Angle of the sector and the angle of the circle itself. What do I mean by that? The length of the arc is equal to theta is how much the angle of the sector divided by the whole angle of the circle times your 2 pi r, which is nothing but your circumference. So using this, you can find the length of the arc of a circle, of the sector. So using this, you can find the length of the arc of the sector of a circle. Now, how do you find the perimeter? So we know that this is made up of two radius. So radius plus the length of your arc. How do you get the length of the arc? Using this above formula. Okay, once you know the radius, you can find the length. Using the length, you can find the perimeter of the sector. Now, area of the sector, same as the length, but instead of the circumference, you substitute the area of the circle. Theta by 360 degree into pi r square. What is this theta? Angle of the sector. Clear? So just note it down, all this formula. It's very important when you come for the exam. Now, let's see a problem based on this. A circular track runs around a circular park. This is a circular park and there is a circular track. And if the difference between the circumference of the track and the park is 66 meters, find the width of the track. So this is the track that you need to find. So this width you have to find. So how do you find it? So as they said, it is the circumference. We all know this width is nothing but circumference of the bigger circle minus the circumference of the smaller circle. So 2 pi capital R minus 2 pi, just like your area that we saw just before, area of a ring. This is the width of the track you need to find. So let's find the difference between the two circumferences. So 2 pi capital R minus small r, right? Equals to, so this R minus R is nothing but your width. The big R minus the small r gives you this difference, which is nothing but your width. So we need to find the R capital R minus small r only, right? So 66. So R minus R equals to 66 by 2 pi. Substituting the value, which is 22 by 7, 2 into 22 by 7 goes to top. So this is 2 times, this is 3 times. Sorry, this is, will cancel it at 22 table itself. So this is 1 time, this is 3 times. So it's simply 21 by 2, which is equal to 10.5 centimeter, no, meter. 10.5 meter. So this is the width of the track. Easy. Once you understand the concept, the problem becomes very easy, right? Now the next one, final steps, simplified way. So once you understand the logic, then the problems, word problems becomes much more easier. Don't get panic. Just draw the figure, write down the formula and go for substitution. Let's summarize the steps. Identify what's been asked, perimeter or area. Write the formula first and then substitute all the values into the formula and see what has been missing. And then go for calculating it. And don't forget to put the correct unit. Perimeter means it's only the unit. If it is area, then unit square. Then for word problems, draw a figure so that you understand the question much more better. So figures are mandatory for word problems. Then mark all the known values, list what has been missing, then again follow the steps. Write the formula, plug in the values and solve it and put the unit. Clear? And now let's see the quick trick that you should never forget. For circles, always note if diameter is given or radius is given. And for all the other questions, including the circles, always write the final answer with the unit, correct unit. Okay? And now comes the challenge for you. Find the area of a triangle with sides 13 centimeter, 14 centimeter and 15 centimeter. We have already seen a formula for this. Do substitute in that, you get the answer. From a rectangular metal sheet of length 11 centimeter and breadth 8 centimeter, three circular plates of radius 3 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 1 centimeter are cut out. Find the area of the remaining part area is equal to the area of the circle. Then the area of the circle is how much? So as I told you already, for the word problems, draw the figure and then go for calculating it. Then the problem number 3 is find the area of the sector of a circle of angle 60 degree and the radius of the circle being 7 centimeter. So we already saw how to find the area of the sector. Do check out the formula, substitute it, get the answer. If the perimeter of the rectangle is equal to the perimeter of the parallelogram, then the area of the rectangle is more than that of the parallelogram. Logical question, true or false? Answer it and don't forget to post your answers. I'm waiting for it. Okay. So I hope this lesson helped you so much to practice the problems and comment your answers. And share this video with the one who is really struggling in mensuration. And if you want one-on-one help, do check out the link in the description and I'll see you in the live class. See you.